Hey, welcome or welcome back to this channel. I hope you guys have had a good day or week when this video finds you. As I've always stated, I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day, even if it is just a few minutes, to be able to sit here and listen to the story that I have provided for you guys today. It truly means the world to me to you guys being able to come back and take this chance and listen to the stories that I have provided and researched for you guys. So, this may be, I think, the fourth video, if I'm not mistaken, and I would like to try to come up with a posting schedule. My goal for now is to do one video per week, but I might be able to do more throughout the week if that's possible. But saying that I do one day per week, it may be sporadic given that the days that I work are not consistent, as I don't have every Monday off or every Saturday or every Sunday. I work very sporadic hours and I am full-time. So one week I may post on a Monday, and then the next week it may be a Wednesday, and then the next week it may be a Tuesday. So my posting schedule may be very sporadic, but my goal for now is to have one video per week. But if I'm able to squeeze in one or two more videos throughout the week, then I would absolutely love to do so. So, again, thank you for taking the time to follow me on this journey and giving me that patience. So, I would also like to mention, if you guys have any stories you would like featured on this channel, feel free to list them below. And it doesn't have to just be paranormal stories. It could be scary stories that are scary to you. But you can also, as said, do scary stories. You can do paranormal stories, or you could also do the folklore stories that we have been doing so far. If you've had any experiences of anything that we've talked about, or if we haven't talked about, but you'd like to also hear them on this channel, go ahead, send in your stories in the comments section down below. Or if I have an email in the description box, you're more than welcome to send them down in that email as well, if that is your way of wanting to communicate. So now that I have that off my chest, go ahead and grab your cozy hobbies, or, as I said last time, it might be chores that you have been putting off and procrastinating on. But whatever you choose to do, get comfortable for this day's episode as we dive deep into the legend that of the Älvor. Now, I'm not sure if I am pronouncing this correctly, so I apologize in advance if I am mispronouncing. But the Älvor is located in Sweden, and you may hear me go ahead and say elves or fairies in advance, because as I'm about to say, the Swedish word Älvor translates to the word elves or fairies in the English language, and this is a plural form. And the singular form of this noun is Älva, which is just that equivalent to the meaning of elf or fairy. So, if you hear me say elf or fairy in this story, I'm using that interchangeably with Älva or Älvor, depending on the context. So, these entities may take on the form of female spirits more times than not. When I was doing my research, I was not seeing anywhere of them coming through as a male spirit. All when I did my research I had read of was just them coming off as female spirits. They will appear to be very small, as in height, but also very petite, and that is just generally speaking. It is said that their beauty is that is not of this world. They are just so beautiful, and it's almost unnatural. their clothing color tends to be those colors that have lighter hues. Generally speaking, more times than not, when one spots them, their clothing may be white. Sometimes their clothing may appear as see-through, but that of lighter hues, so like a see-through white color. So when one pictures a fairy, I am sure that they may envision a being with wings, and that being flying. Well, with Älvor, these fairies may or may not have wings. This is up to the individual Älva themselves on what they choose to acquire. So some may appear to have wings, and some may appear to not have wings. This is completely up to the individual themselves. Now, depending on the situation and the needs, these Älvor may be willing to help a human, or they may be a threat to human. It is very dependent on the situation. Now, what determines the fate of the human if this person comes across an Älva is whether or not they are being a threat to their home. If you are disrespecting the land that they consider sacred in their home, then you can go ahead and consider the Älvor a threat because they're going to defend their land. There's another way that they may be a threat to the humans, but that's going to go ahead and come later on in this episode because it is also going to intertwine with when they're most active, and you will see what I mean by that in just a few minutes. So with that being said, the Älvor have also been known to show mercy to a person by also lending them a helping hand. The fairy may approve of a person if this person shows respect to the mythical land that they dwell on. And the Älva generosity may be granted if a human leaves them an offering. When doing what is considered respectful or an offering being provided to these elves, they reciprocate those feelings by granting the human good luck or fortune to come. Now, let's get into when they are most active. As we've discussed in a previous episode, the German Elfhalker, again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but if we recall, the Elfhalker had a time that they were very active. Well, just like that, the Älva also have a time when they're most active. So the Älvor are most likely to be very active in the months that lie in the summer and fall seasons. When they are seen, they're usually engulfed in a mist cloud doing their mesmerizing ritualistic type of dance. As said a few minutes ago, I would get into the other reason how Älvor may be a threat to a person who comes across them. Well, the other way is by the dance that is natural to them. This dance is said to be very fascinating to the human that visualizes it, and it is so mesmerizing that it causes this person to go into a trance-like state and be drawn towards these group of Älvor. And that can be very dangerous for this person who ever visualizes that. So Älvor love to be mysterious, and they like their privacy, if you'll think of it like that. So it would make sense for them to reside in areas that are surrounded by trees, or just giving a foresty type surrounding, like woods. They like to be in that kind of scenery. So going back to the time that they're most active, this is a time that they are very magical. Their powers are very heightened, so as one would expect, with powers being heightened, everything about them is so strong at that time. whether it's their powers or strength, they're very overbearing at that time. So this means that during their active seasons and active time, they could pose a threat to anyone who comes across them. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, I hope you can take this time to like and subscribe, as I would love to have you guys here with me on this journey. If anyone has any paranormal stories or scary stories, as I've stated earlier, and that you want it to be featured in this video, or if you don't want it to be, featured, if you just want to get it off your chest and you need to send it in to somebody, go ahead and do so. And as I said, if you would like it to be featured on this channel, just go ahead and let me know, so that maybe in a future video I will go ahead and put it in. But as said, and it doesn't have to be those stories, it can even be folklore or whatever the case may be. If you want to dive deeper into certain areas that we've already covered, like that of Germany, for example, we just did the Älvor. But if you have stories that have happened to you or that you want to hear about that is considered paranormal or folklore to that area, and we need to do a little bit more of a deeper dive into some of these, then we can go ahead. But whatever ideas you have, list them down in the comments below. And as I've said, feel free to send in some video ideas and topics that you want to hear on this channel. Again, thank you for your time if you have made it this far. And until the next time, stay safe and stay spooky out there.